All right, here we are. Sorry for the wait, everybody. We've had a bit of technical issues. Hopefully, those are all sorted out. Hi, how you doing? We've got AWESOMONSTER who's pointing off to the side for some reason. We've got the Wanderer,
I was trying to point at
both
her.
of whom have not been here for a while. So welcome back, guys. And we've also got.
Thanks for having us.
Happy to be back.
We've also got.
Thanks for
I'm always here.
the band.
Yeah, we've got IKIFOO, who so far I think is the
in jail
only
for
one
a
of us who has been here the whole time for every episode. Not even me.
For
Not even I can.
some
claim that.
reason.
Yeah. So congratulations, you get.
I'm pretty close.
Yes. How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
PC made me look bad today. It will be punished.
Yeah, they do that, I found. We've got some very patient people in the chat. Again, thank you for waiting, and hello to everybody
Thanks,
who is
guys.
currently watching us
yeah.
on both YouTube and Twitch. And Demon Dragon, we gratefully accept your hugs and cookies. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So what have you guys been playing lately, huh?
Well, I finally managed to get a review of Gibbous out.
Nice. I saw that. I liked it.
And then I bought Beat Saber, and I can't remember anything else that's happened since then.
Yeah.
Well,
Did
I
you
have
beat-
been playing Gabriel Knight.
Were you beating your
3,
saber?
Although, yes, obligatory beat-off joke here. The
What?
but, what's it called? No, like we've been playing Gabriel Knight 3. Although, like since my computer restarted, I need to play back up. We were, but you know, it's been fun.
Summer Grundy is having internet issues. The rain is making his internet go crappy, so he unfortunately will not be joining us. We are very sad.
love you too, Dan. You're a bloody legend, mate.
Oh,
Oh, thank you,
love a little
Dan.
bit of
We love you too. Sorry to interrupt. What were you saying,
Yeah,
Howard?
YouTube is running a little bit
Anyway.
behind. We're not sure why, but at least it's working. That's,
Yeah, it's always been like
Aussie
that when
Takeover Stream, it was
I
not
use
working.
Restream.
Well, yeah, that answers what you and Dave have been playing.
oh yes, we've been playing Zork Grand Inquisitor.
We have
A very fun
recently
game.
finished Quest for Glory 4 as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
And in my spare time, I've been playing Harvester.
Yes,
Why?
I know. Have you
Why?
seen the messages I've been sending you, Dave?
No.
Because Harvester is an amazing experience, that's why.
GOG, you've probably
It's an
got
experience.
like 5 or 6 messages going like, I'm worried about you, Dave. I'm worried about you.
You were always such a kid,
Harvester
Elite.
is amazing. Are you kidding me?
It is amazing. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I got in so much trouble with that game when I was
Yeah.
like 12.
I've never played
Wanderer,
it before either.
blink twice if you're in danger.
He blinked 5 times. Yes. Wanderer has a new toy. You may be hearing strange noises. Don't just ignore it.
That's just me. Don't worry about
It's not
it.
a toy. It's
It
called
happens a lot,
migrating
apparently.
Telegraph.
Yeah, sure.
Telegraph.
Whatever. We have heard from Trolls since he got back from PAX. He is well. He's resting.
Yeah.
He
as
lives.
well.
Which, speaking of which, that, I suppose, is as good a segue as any into our news. That's the first bit of news we got. Of course, if you haven't seen it yet, our little Space Quest historian is growing up before our eyes.
Oh, look
He
at
is-
him.
He's a big boy now.
He's hosted his own panel.
He was
Okay.
always a big boy. That was
You
kind of
made
his
it,
thing.
kid!
You made it. Don't
You
don't
crazy
forget
son of
us.
a bitch. You did
They
it.
let you into America for some reason.
Don't forget us when you're famous. But yes, he hosted a panel at PAX West on adventure games then and now with quite a few legends in the business, as you can see.
Oh, look,
Laurie and Corey
I've just
Cole.
noticed it's bookended by YAR.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Nice.
But yeah, he's got the Coles there. He's got Al Lowe. He's got Dave Gilbert, Ivy Dupler, and of course, speak of the devil, Francisco Gonzalez, who took this picture of the proceedings. Sadly, Trolls didn't host the panel like that. That would have been fun to see.
Oh,
It's the only way you can get comfortable.
Yeah, that would have been fun him hosting the panel while simultaneously doing the limbo. Pete, nobody can see that. I'm sorry.
I know, but it's good.
But yeah, there were a few pictures taken, and I enjoyed the panel. It was quite interesting.
I still need to watch it. I keep
I
forgetting.
haven't
Me
had
too.
a chance to
Yes.
watch
It's a
it.
good watch.
So busy with work.
And again, twitch.tv/PAX2 if you missed it. The VOD is up. And now you can see the madness that is Pete's camera.
Oh, yeah, wait, I switched it back. Oh, wait, no, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, not at
The
all.
beauty of Pete.
Pete, that
Let's
skeleton's
talk about adventure
invaded.
games.
It's invaded your room again. Get rid of the skelly, Pete. He's always invading. He doesn't respect your personal space.
Pete's
He
got
leaves
her
crumbs everywhere.
Pete's got her website,
But
her
at least
webcam set to GeoCities mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my.
GeoCities,
Do you like my
GeoCities,
new
whatever.
set, you guys? I made it myself.
Soup is on. Soup is on.
Under construction, but you know,
Yeah.
sign the guest book.
Sign the guest book.
Soup's on.
Soup's on.
Let's see. Under construction, sign the guest book. What other meme can we think of?
Barkey text.
Animated GIFs.
Yeah.
Just a whole
Well,
page of animated GIFs.
It does have the drippy bloodline.
You are
yeah.
I want to know.
Classic.
you are visitor
wanna know
number
how many
47,000.
He's hiding.
That's what I wanted
Okay,
to know.
wait.
Yeah.
Where's the guy? Where he's like behind? Let me.
I don't understand, Pete. They're not wearing lingerie.
Oh, brother.
They don't let lingerie on GeoCities.
I'm not sure.
Look at
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I hate more: the fact that you made that reference, or the fact that I got it.
Everybody loves gag. What are you talking about?
Loves is a strong word.
Hate is also a strong word, but on the other hand, maybe appropriate. No.
Look at. I'm so edgy.
It has its charm, and also Anatoly will come over and kill me if I keep this up. So
Yeah.
Speaking of Anatoly,
What?
I happen to
Anatoly
be.
loves gag. What are you talking about?
I happen to be browsing on Twitter, and noticed something that he posted on Twitter. Apparently, recently, Assassin's Creed, or Creed, that works too. Assassin's Creed Odyssey just finished releasing an episodic DLC pack for the game, which takes place in and around the legendary city of Atlantis. Does anybody know what they have chosen to entitle this particular DLC pack?
well, they were trying to figure out what happened to Atlantis ultimately.
Yeah.
So the title would have to.
Hey,
Wait a minute.
Yeah. It's
God, that would be like releasing a new Hitman game and just calling it Hitman. That'd just
Yeah.
be bullshit.
Does this DLC have beads?
Yes.
or fine leather jackets.
It's not that kind of game.
I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I've triggered Pete.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Pete's going to get her beads.
Triggered.
Yeah, put it up.
Yeah, put it up.
There you go. Dan Nastic says, "Wait, what?
That's the very
Blasphemy!"
last episode of YAR Talk. The
Yeah. Speaking of, does anybody remember a few episodes back when we found some random game company was releasing their new game, and
Oh,
they were going to
God,
call it
yeah.
Space
Yeah,
Quest?
Space Quest. Yeah.
That's what
So there-
I'm getting from this. It sounds like Ubisoft. Is that who does Assassin's Creed? I don't know. AAA people
Yeah.
blend in
Yeah.
together.
So, yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like they maybe didn't do their research, or they didn't care. One or the other.
I mean, technically, it's Assassin's Creed Odyssey horizontal
look at
line.
that.
Oh,
Damn,
look
look
at
at
that
that! I'm
Assassin's Creed
distracted. I'm
necklace
just going
she
to keep
has.
talking for good
It
reason.
doesn't have the
What
swirly
is-
because I was gonna do something special for it, but my
Aw.
mold that I have for it does have a swirly.
Pickle
And,
Dog says, "Is there
down
an
the
Assassin's
mold-
Creed Black Flag Monkey Island in our future?" Nice.
Oh,
That would be cool.
man,
Sounds
That would
good.
be really cool though.
Yeah.
You get Murray. It sounds exactly the same. It's just Murray.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
I was about to say an Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but it's also Lamplight City.
Or it's also Syndicate. So technically, they've already done that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I made this myself, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
A few people
That is-
out there have bronze versions.
Ooh.
Cool.
It's a really good Assassin's Creed necklace you have there.
Yeah, I love that Assassin's Creed.
I will
Ezio,
smack you over the head next week.
all,
Your
all
transgressions.
all of
It
the,
looks like he was
It's my
enjoying that.
birthday.
all of them. I've
All of
never
them.
played.
Yeah.
I've only played
Look
Black
all
Flag.
right.
See, I think the difference between
I
this and the
always
Space Quest
change my hair. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was
example
going to
is
say
that
that. You
Space Quest
change your hair
guys-
every day.
they
Practically.
were just mistaken.
It's
but
white right now.
Ubisoft
I
just
like
doesn't
it.
give
It's
a
hard to
shit.
tell in the light. It's
Yeah.
white though. It's not
Yeah, pretty.
blonde. Yo,
It is very nice.
it's a lot of work to make it white. I just need to get in a car accident like the kid in that song.
Are you sure?
Okay, moving on.
I feel like there are other.
Does anybody else have any other news?
Nobody? Nobody.
Oh,
Um,
yes,
fine.
we do have other news. We do
Go
have
for
other
it.
news. We have Deadly Premonition 2.
Oh my god,
Thank
yes
you.
we do.
Thank you, people in chat.
Oh.
Thank you. Somebody got it. Pickle Dog got it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so
I don't
for
have some.
those that might be involved in the show, either in the chat or somewhere here, what's Deadly Premonition, and why is the sequel so exciting?
Oh gosh, it's so exciting. Okay,
Yeah,
Pete,
Pete,
who
you're
wants
gonna
to
have
take?
to
Who
field
wants to
this
take
one.
it?
No,
Okay,
Pete, you've got to do it. You've got to do it.
so Deadly Premonition
Uh-huh.
is a game that came out first on the Xbox 360,
Mhm.
and then later they released it on PS3 and PC. But originally Xbox 360 game, heavily based on Twin Peaks, but
Oh, one of those.
it's a magical game. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it was made by Swery, who is a very cool, very nice dude.
Very
Very
happening
happy.
dude, yeah.
Very happening dude. Loves coffee and beer. He's a good guy. And
Nice.
he had a falling out with Access Games, like pretty bad. So the fact that he's able to make a sequel for Deadly Premonition is astounding. It's like everything had to like work out in his favor, and it did. And it's one of those things that like nobody ever expected it to get a sequel. It was a game that was like done and dusted. He's never going to have access to making that property ever again, so he has to work on new things. And it's like the thing is it's coming out in 2020, which is astounding because he must have been working on it for at least 3 or 4 years and just
talking, be right back.
completely kept it secret. Completely kept it a secret.
Amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing that
like nobody
didn't get
knew
leaked.
until that Nintendo Direct. Of all things, they're dropping like E3 sized announcements on just a random ass Nintendo Direct that they're
Yeah.
usually like, we updated the web store, kind of like shit.
Yeah.
And yet, no, hey, guess what? Deadly Premonition 2. Hey, guess what? It's coming out on Switch. Surprise! Coming out next year. Which, The Good Life, Swery's other game, is coming out early next year. So he's been working on. I mean, he's a busy dude. He's been keeping busy. So yeah, I didn't really explain what Deadly Premonition is very well, but it's kind of one of those things that you have to experience.
Yeah.
I kind of got the gist of
I
it.
haven't finished it. I've never
it's-
finished it, but
Ugh.
it's still one of my favorites.
I know that game like the back of my hand. I know everything about that game because I've played it all the way through. I've watched the both Giant Bomb Endurance runs multiple times, which is a lot. And then I've also watched Super Great Friends Let's Play of it, which is like it's extremely thorough. He covers everything about that game. If you want to watch somebody play that game instead of playing it yourself, that's where I would send you, is Super Great Friend. 'Cause
Sounds
Let's
like a
Play is
good
amazing.
YAR stream that's waiting to happen.
I
Yeah, it
want
does.
to so bad.
Not
You
even a
guys.
takeover, just we all get together.
Yeah.
The takeover
That's
part
another
stops for a
Jamie
while.
stream. Just get snuggled.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a batshit beautiful, perfect
Weird
game.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mhm.
I know it's like you'd say, well, what about that? What about no? It's a perfect game. It's a perfect game. I'm sorry. I will not be taking any questions at this point.
Do not at.
Okay.
That's the end of
Don't
the
at me,
conference,
bro.
so,
Yes.
Deadly Premonition.
Thank you for coming to this press conference.
yeah.
Yes.
It's got problems, but
Everything has problems though,
no,
so
no spoilers. But Swery released an entire game apologizing for one of my biggest issues with that game. So we're good. It's good.
yeah.
Nice.
That's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil anything,
Cool.
but that's all I'll say.
It's weird, basically.
One of them.
Beautiful.
like us.
I keep.
I like.
I'm not
I
used
like
to being over
Deadly
here
Premonition
yet.
more
I
than-
keep looking at the top of my monitor for my camera. My camera is down here now. I gotta get used to that. Not only is my camera down here, my camera is sitting on 3 books and a notepad, just so it
we're
can look
not
up
used
at
to
me.
seeing your OBS layout in Discord, so
Yeah.
it's a learning experience for us all.
Yeah. Anyway, so big news.
Apologies if anyone can hear the rain behind me. The summer got really heavy. David Cage is happening here.
Oh God!
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Shit! Brace yourselves! It's the David Cage alarm!
So the big news of the past fortnight.
Emotions.
Jason!
What?
Jason! Jason!
Shush!
Sorry!
Pete,
I had
Pete,
to!
Pete,
I'm sorry.
don't swear. Don't swear.
Would you people behave?
Yeah,
I'm trying to read news
No.
here.
never.
I've just been reminded about the Rosella that was in my house during the Aussie Takeover stream.
Oh, boy.
Bird attack.
So anyway, you may have heard tales
It
being
breaks when I
told.
take a drink.
Shut up! You may have heard tales being told of Telltale games being revived.
What?
It kind of is, it kind of isn't. The brand has been bought out by a group called LCG Entertainment. It will be headed up by a couple of people named Jamie Otelier.
What was that reaction, Pete?
It's. She suddenly has paper towels. I'm not sure I want to know why.
You okay there?
Anyway,
No.
Oh, good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Okay.
My
It's
shirt.
the new
okay.
Telltale will be headed by Jamie
okay.
Ottilie or
It's
whatever, who is the head of a mobile game maker called Galaxy Pest Control, whose claim to fame includes licensed games based on, among other things, Duck Dynasty. So that's a sign of encouragement.
That's exciting. That's a game we could play. The Duck Dynasty game. Have you guys ever played that?
And
No.
Brian
Oh
Waddle.
my god! We have to play the Duck Dynasty game.
Shush! Brian Waddle, who is in charge of sales and marketing for the Havoc engine. Now, neither of them are former employees of Telltale. But speaking of former employees, we got a duck on the screen. Great. Speaking of former employees, this according to Jim Sterling, some former workers. You may remember when Telltale went under, they had to lay off something like 270
Everybody?
people.
Most of them.
Yeah, just about everybody. Some of the former workers will be offered freelance positions and could get full-time employment down the road, maybe.
I
But
heard that one before.
yeah,
Stop me.
as for everybody else, they are more or less screwed and are still trying to get money owed to them by, the original Telltale when they went under. So, I mean, it's good that it's coming back in a way, but could be better.
We'll wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. Have you guys played any Telltale games? Or what's your favorite? I imagine you've played a
Fair
few.
few.
So what would
Yeah.
be your favorite?
Game of Thrones that beat me down into a flattened husk. Because
I really enjoyed Sam and Max.
I really enjoyed
I
that.
played that
Yeah,
now
for
you
those
mention,
ones.
yeah.
I know that puts me in the minority, but I enjoyed
Ah,
that.
back to
Well, you
That's
didn't-
great. That
you
was
didn't
great.
say
Only
Jurassic
one I
Park.
played.
I played at least one.
Yeah,
of them.
that one was hit and miss. Jurassic Park.
It's not got a good reputation. I've not tried it myself, but yeah.
I've tried it. It's the quick time events, I think, because there's so much of that.
I've never been more
Yeah.
frustrated by a game than Telltale's Strong Bad, because I literally could not work out how to solve a
Aw.
single one of those puzzles.
Mm.
I've always wanted to play that. that strong bad game.
Yeah, Pickle Dog agrees with you. He likes Strong Bad,
Bad.
Tales of Monkey Island.
Sister.
Dan Nasty
Come
says
back,
Walking Dead was the
I haven't
best.
played Tales yet. I own it, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I never got through that one
I
either.
got frustrated by that as
Walking Dead
well.
and that game those games seem pretty solid. Like
And
story-wise and everything, I think they're
Wilka
very
Webb has
interesting.
just typed a bunch of letters and numbers into the
It's
chat. I'm sure it
strong
means
bad
something.
cool game for awesome people.
Oh, that one.
Attractive
Yeah.
people.
Strong bad game. Attractive people.
Yeah,
Sorry.
people.
Awesome people out. Attractive people in.
Well,
Who cares if you're great as long as you look? Yes, I'm out. That's me screwed. I'm neither.
come on,
Anyway,
Gemini. We know when we're not wanted.
Yeah, come on, fuck this.
you'll start your
Yeah.
own podcast.
No.
Oh, he actually left.
It's
Yeah.
done. I'm the host now. I punched my stairs.
Now.
No, I said it
No,
first.
I'm Spider.
and I punched my stairs.
I'm
It's
Spider-Man.
official.
Sit down and
Did
shut
you
up.
punch your stairs? I don't
Ah.
think so. Why is my hand still up here?
I have
I punched my stairs.
something for this.
Wilka Webb says, "Tell us of Duck Dynasty now." It sucks. Moving on.
It's so bad. You play the
So
sun.
bad.
And
And-
and I am ashamed to admit the show is or was, I can't remember if it's still on, but it was taped in my hometown.
Oh, wow.
In
Those
case
guys
you
are,
thought,
like,
in case you thought I was joking about
totally
punching
not-
the stairs,
what
Oh,
they look
shit.
like.
What the fuck?
Go
my
on.
stairs are right here.
I leave for 5 seconds. What'd you do, man?
I punched the
punched
stairs. I
the
thought I'd made that
stairs.
clear
He-
multiple
he
times.
Was he was congratulating himself that he was host now.
You can't even stick your arms up in the air without punching the stairs. Why would I let you host my show?
Sorry, your show? I recall you
No.
leaving, sir.
Propaganda poster. I am in charge now.
But no,
I am
clearly
the
I cannot be
glorious
trusted.
leader.
Everyone, look at Pete. She's
Oh,
the
yes,
captain
sir.
now.
Yes.
Which salute are we doing?
Glory to our Stutska!
I mean, there's one salute we should not do. Rimmer salute is
No.
fine.
No, I was doing the Rimmer salute.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
have to do in my country. You got the swirls. Rimmer salute.
I'll just go with the Spaceball salute.
Now he hits himself in the eye.
That does happen.
Yeah. No, but
It
I
was
mean,
the
like,
double
he's,
rimmer.
he's punched the stairs and now he's hit
It's the
himself
most
in the eye.
important salute.
It's a great day for IKIFOO.
That sounds about like
And
Rimmer.
kinda there. Like that.
Those,
When it's
just-
off
just
the
throw
screen,
those
it
kick-
doesn't
Hey,
look
buddy.
great.
No. Not the best.
Be careful.
Where the
He's doing
hell
the Rimmer
were we?
salute.
I have no idea.
I'm in
Dr.
charge
Johnson.
now.
Okay,
Telltale, and that led to us
Telltale.
being neither attractive
candy
or
for
awesome,
dinner!
and eat candy for dinner, yes, and
Yep.
all sorts of things. Fuck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty, yeah.
So these people who are resurrecting Telltale, have they actually said what they're going to work on?
I don't think so. At least I haven't heard of any new projects.
I'm gonna open up an incognito window.
Incognito window. What are you searching?
Icky's gonna look that up.
Dynasty.
Meanwhile, anybody else have any news?
I did have something that caught my eye, which is a
There is
neural...
a porn parody.
Of course there is.
I have a band-aid for you, Gordon. It says shark
Okay.
bite.
Sweet. My
Yeah.
my stairs are like a shark.
Yeah. I also have another one that's IKIFOO purple that says dance off.
I would really hope that they have like fake
Perfect.
beards. I'm not gonna watch
Yeah.
it. It just seems
Yeah, Rule 34. There's a porn parody of
probably
everything.
just people fucking.
That's true.
And yeah,
fake
I've not
beards.
found
That's
one
probably
for
all it
beaches.
is. So
At this point, there's
Whatever.
probably a
Beaches.
at this point there's
There's
probably
no
a porn parody
for
of
beaches.
porn.
I looked.
That there's probably a porn parody of porn somewhere. I would bet you anything.
oh, have
No,
you
that's the
seen
guy.
that?
That's the guy on Pornhub who just does, completely normal, wholesome thing. We were
love that
thinking
guy.
the same thought, weren't we?
There's also
Yeah.
the what did they
I'll be
call
back,
it?
guys. I got a
There's
doggo
series
crying
for
at
a
me.
while.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
On a YouTube where it was like PG porn or something. I think it was called, where it was like the
Jesus,
porn
why?
setups, but it was just people like doing that, like.
Yeah, just, I'm here
I've
to
got
fix
big
the washing
pizza.
machine.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
that,
So-
and then it was
Okay,
like,
that'll cost
okay, that'll
$20.
be $17.
So-
Bye.
In other words,
It
Can
was-
I hire you again? Seriously, that was so goddamn cheap.
I was gonna say, in other words, all the
like
all the
that.
sex scenes from Ride to Hell Retribution.
Oh man.
Can we
Gemini,
play
don't
that
swear.
game too?
No. Someone else can
Please.
play it, and I'll take the piss out of the textures. But oh
I
my
love
god,
how
why?
it's like the animations are them just like fucking moving the characters and like actually
With clothes on.
filming the
Yeah.
So-
like instead of making an animation, they just took video of them moving the 3D character. Like that's how they do that kind of
Yeah.
animation. It's
And
the
all-
same thing with like Food
all-
Fight. They
All
did
the scenes, all the women have dead eyes, and the
everybody's got dead eyes and,
and
clothes
except
on.
except the guy who's always going.
Yeah,
Somewhere
It's so-
between sneeze and constipated.
so
Yeah.
bad. It's so terrible.
If that,
And
if
I
that
just
was actually
realized
like,
somebody's probably gonna clip that and meme that image with me. So great, enjoy.
If they get the right moment, you're both doing it.
Yay. So yeah, the cutscenes are a little bit like somebody with an elaborate setup of dolls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
They're
is
pretty
like
much
them
like
playing
Hot Coffee.
dolls.
So while we wait for Dave, let's hear from the chat some more. What are your some of your favorite Telltale games?
Oh,
We've
poor
heard-
doggo, that was a great game.
We've heard what have we heard? I'm sitting here staring at the chat. I can't even remember anything.
Puzzle Agent.
There we go. The
yeah,
Strong
Puzzle
Bed,
Agent.
Walking Dead. Of course, I have a good memory. What are you talking about?
Puppy
Wallace and
Cam.
Gromit. I keep forgetting about Wallace and Gromit.
Bone?
And Puppy
Was also a
Cam.
Oh
Wal-
yeah,
Wallace-
burn. I got burned.
I never
Wallace and
played
Gromit was a Telltale game?
it. Yeah.
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 Huh. I remember playing
Yeah.
a Wallace and Gromit game. I think it was.
Then
It came out around the time of the Were Rabbit movie, but I don't think it was based on that. But really? That was Telltale? Cool.
Oh, Grump.
Interestingly enough, I'm not seeing anybody mention the Minecraft one. The
Oh
story
yeah, those were Telltale games, huh? I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
I never
They're
played them.
alright.
I was-
My
did not
nephew
appeal.
played them.
mode. Yeah, I've seen bits
Yeah.
of let's plays of that one. It was interesting.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
alright.
one that they had on Netflix, which was the Choose Your Own Adventure one, was that based on that
think
game,
so.
or was it its own thing?
Yeah, I think it's the same game.
Right.
It's just
The
made.
Borderlands one as well. God, there's so
Oh,
many.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard really good things about the Borderlands one. I have it,
I-
I just have never played it.
yeah, I've got it as well. I haven't played it yet either. But like, I know that there's a whole gun battle, but it's literally
Night
everyone
Summer.
Good night, Summer.
bang 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 bang.
Nighty night.
Well, now that Dave's here, that means I get to press this! Super happy fun, happy game time! So,
That was so unenthusiastic little theme tune I've ever heard.
so
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's late at night.
Whoa.
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Oh, I need to try that again. Let's see what else I got.
So, kind of appropriately enough, talking about Walking Dead and everything, we're raising a game back from the dead for this particular segment. We did an episode.
Rise from
ready.
your wave.
Yeah, we did an
Wow.
episode a little while back, which was lost to the annals of time because of audio glitches, and we couldn't use it. And during that episode, we tried a spoonful of Moon Logic game in which we attempted the scenario where you locked your keys in the car. And we figured, well, because that episode didn't get used and nobody's seen it, what the hell, we'll try it again. So, you've locked your keys in your car.
So ready.
What do you do?
So ready for this.
No.
Go, Dave.
Oh my.
Thanks for the welcome back, DD. Okay, so I've locked my keys in my car. Oh no. Oh well.
What
I
are
do
you
have
going
a
to do?
spare. I do have a spare,
A spare car?
but a spare
No.
key.
Oh, okay.
But
Are you about to mention your video game that we're in the process of making?
No, 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 no.
There's
no,
not that many
no.
keys in this world.
He's the key maker.
Now
Yeah.
I'm stalling.
Yes.
So basically, what you got to do is stall for time first, and then no. So
Well, my answer's taken.
okay, so I've got a spare key, but where is it? Where have I put it? I'll tell you where I put it. I've locked it in a puzzle box.
Of course.
But
That's what you do with your spare keys.
you got to, right? You got to. But I was a little concerned that that puzzle box wasn't secure enough. So what I've done is I put it in a birdhouse in the oak tree outside, right at the top. So to get up that oak tree, we've got to not use a ladder because that's like it's not going to be tall enough. Come on.
It's too easy.
We need to. It's way too easy. So we need to get some knives and sort of stick them to the bottom of our shoes so we can climb up the tree.
Nice shoes.
Little climbing shoes. Because my climbing shoes, my mate borrowed them and he hasn't given them back, so I can't, use my actual climbing shoes.
Right.
So to make them, we got to get some knives, and then we got to find a way to secure them to our feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head down to the barbershop. I'm going to get some hair from the floor, because I don't need that. I'm going to braid it into a rope to then climb up to my house's roof, which I will then get the gutter netting and wrap around my feet with the knives to make little climbing shoes. And yeah, that's all I have because I was actually going to mention the game we're in the middle of making.
Shoes. Shoes. Wall.
I knew it! I knew it!
I knew it.
First
Spoilers!
You get first you get the guitar, and then you get the spare key off the shelf.
Right,
No, you don't get the spare key off the shelf. That's
It's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna change anyway.
It's gonna change. It's gonna change anyway. Yeah, because we
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
that we're gonna make Icky play it, but if he sees how it's made, he'll know the
How many-
solution. So
Just how many steps did you ask me to make again? Like for the puzzle, it was. What,
I
2?
asked you to make 3 steps, and we're at 20.
Yeah.
I said
shit.
3 directions. I said 3 inventory items. You came up with 9 inventory items. About half of those are different keys.
Well,
We're letting this
I
guy
mean-
make a game and he can't count. This is going to go poorly.
Oh, I can count.
I asked you for 12 disciples. There are 28 of them.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
who's got another method which possibly won't infringe upon games they may or may not be making?
I think I can put one together
Go for it.
in reasonably short time. Your keys are locked in your car. Drat. It's a hassle, I know. But it's pretty simple. You'll be near to a mall, maybe you're parked at a mall. That's exactly what you need. So you need to go out and find the largest raincoat you can. Doesn't have to be fancy or anything. Doesn't even matter about the color. You just need the raincoat.
Right.
Some kind of binding material like a rope. You can distract as many, shopping mall security guards as you want, as many shop assistants as you want. You probably have to deceive a child at some point. It's just the kind of thing you do. Okay.
Aw.
Proper binding agent. You need to tickle a puppy, of course.
Always gotta tickle that puppy.
Yep.
Of course.
Tickle that puppy.
And a fairly lengthy tube. You'll need a pair of scissors. That'll pretty much be mandatory as well. And
Of course.
a helium tank would be great. A propane tank will do in a pinch. But once you've got your submersible, you just follow up the river to the nuclear power plant. And since you're just going along the water, you can go straight into the overflow, up into this dead center of the plant and steal some uranium. And obviously you take it back. Hopefully you don't choke on the propane in the meantime. If you've got helium, well, that's still a hazard. But, it's probably a little bit safer. And, nah, you couldn't smoke either way. So just don't light a match in there. Instant
The
game over.
uranium's not unsafe.
No, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, they wouldn't
It's
make
fine.
nuclear power plants with it
Alright.
if it weren't safe. Come on. Anyway.
Anyway,
And
yep,
please don't interrupt. I'm only like halfway through this. So we're going.
Sorry.
Here we go. Back at the mall, we there's a couple of other things we need. Maybe go into like the sort of Chinese mini mall that's nearby to the grand white ass mall that you usually get. And you will need a couple of things here. You will need fresh meat. You will need salt. You will need bird feathers. A couple of small stones. 5 different types of grass. And this is why you got the cutting object before. You will need to get a sample of blood. And once you've prepared your summoning circle, you'll be able to bring forth some cantifordium. And that is the crucial component that you require. Because you combine the uranium and the cantifordium on the hood of the car, and this is the really important point. The other thing I didn't tell you is you picked up a bamboo stick and some small pebbles earlier, and with
It's just like a game to not tell you this crucial information.
Yeah, exactly. And if you didn't pick them up before, oh, you're screwed now.
Yeah,
we're
that's
not going to tell
dead man
you.
walking situation.
New game.
Yeah, exactly.
New game.
Yeah, puzzle item entrapment, I believe was the term.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that.
Is it? Yeah, I would hope so. But yeah, your makeshift rain stick will now be used for its most obvious purpose, summoning rain. And when you have the rain, the uranium, and the cantifordium, the miniature black hole will appear on the hood of your car, just basically erasing that part of it. Of course, cantifordium, it's got a very low half-life, so a couple of seconds later, you can just sort of... It's as if the Terminator spawned there, basically. Just this whole sphere that disappeared, and then you'll be able to get your car keys.
So don't do this on your bonnet, basically.
So you destroy your car to get your car keys?
Yeah? What were you thinking?
I've got a quickie.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you walk to the fishmonger, you get a fish. You need to get a carving knife to carve a message on the side of the fish. No, we're not marrying the fish. We're sending the fish to Superman.
Damn it, Wanderer, that's your answer to everything.
You knew where I was going, and that was a trap. Great. But you mail the fish to Superman. Yeah, you mail the fish to Superman. I wasn't even thinking about Glub Glub. I was thinking about the joke I made in Zork Nemesis. But you know, so Superman shows up after he's received your fish letter, and you have to seduce Superman.
Right.
Is
And a certain
there any dating
projectile
sim now?
that he creates during seduction can be used to break open the window because it's very strong. It's very
Projectile.
strong indeed.
Projectile. Huh?
Something that's ejaculated. And that would break the window open, and then you've got your keys. And you've only lost a window to it. And now you've also dating Superman.
Yeah, but see, with
It's a
I feel
win-win.
like she has something to say.
see, with your one, you have to reach in. You have to, worry about broken glass. Mine is quick, simple, effective. You just walk up.
Takes away half the car, it's fine.
We lean it a little bit through the
Honestly, I
hole.
could probably
You
get
wanted the keys.
Superman to
I
pick
got
up.
you the keys. What up?
This is true. I didn't necessarily say we'd be
Miles
using the
said
car
I'm
afterwards. I just said, how do you get your
You
keys?
just gotta get the keys.
Goal
Then you have to
achieved.
build the rest
See,
of
I
the
don't
car.
have to scratch. I don't have to reach in. I can make Superman do that. I'm sure he'd be very happy to do that after I've
Yeah, make Superman
helped
do
him
the
out
reach
with his
around.
problems.
I mean, honestly, I don't know what this window is made of, but you could maybe just ask Superman. It's like, okay,
Where's the fun in
you've
that?
come, you've brought down an airplane. Can you just reach into the car and?
Then you don't get to date Superman afterwards.
Yeah, you've got to date
That's
Superman.
He'll
See?
he'll only date you if he gets to jizz your window in. What?
Yeah. That's
a
how
red
it works
flag.
with Superman. That's how it works with
He's
Superman.
been
I'm
saving
sorry.
Metropolis
I've not
day
read-
in,
I've not
day
read
out
the
for
comics.
years. The
Maybe
man
there's
is
something I
bored.
missed. Dear Diary, finally did something new.
Somebody came up with something that I've never done before.
It's like
I'm in
original
love.
sin, but
Poor Jimmy Olsen.
I'll be in here if you need me.
Oh, I never realized what you had to go through to get an internship at the Daily Planet. Oh. Man,
Jesus.
Insert obvious joke about Catholic.
this this one places.
Good night, everybody.
Pete, you got you got anything to add, or should we just move on?
I found someone has made a text adventure that's created by a neural network. So
Wait.
it writes itself as you play.
Don't do it.
I
Don't
want
do
it.
I've done it.
Play it now.
Did it already.
Well,
That's
for
amazing.
a very quick example, my first one is you float in space like a balloon, and as you drop the cube, the X, it vanishes in a cloud of greasy black smoke.
okay.
So I'm going to tell
Pete, you got
eat
anything to add?
cube.
Eat cube.
You ever have
I'm
one of
gonna
the?
play the adventure game.
You ever have
Yeah,
one of those
no,
days
this
when you
is-
just lost control of everything?
Okay, here's the response. You are in the process. You are in the business of eating.
Yes.
Yes.
So basically, I
I
think this is
eat.
going to turn into Eliza, or a cross between Eliza and that AI story writing
My
thing
most
that we try
proudest
not.
moment-
Talk
Yes.
to
Talk
about-
Transformer.
Yes, DD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
That-
proudest moment with
that is my life.
Eliza was getting Eliza to say, "You're
is my
turning
life.
me on," and then she refused to admit that she'd said it. Yeah, I think everyone tries to seduce Eliza,
Yeah.
or Daisy, or Billy.
Or Dr. Spatzo.
Oh,
He does have the
that would be
sexiest
great with
voice.
The text to speech, yeah.
And he will keep
He's-
it in the strictest confidence.
He doesn't. You can't win him over because he's in love with the math coprocessor.
I've just realized I've not tried to do it with Dr. Ruth. I think Dr. Ruth would probably be the fun one to try and do. In Dr. Ruth's.
I'm moving this
thing,
on.
Good sex.
Yeah.
Let's
fair
talk
dues.
about King's Quest, and specifically, which one's the best one? We, to tell the truth, didn't really have a topic planned out for today, so we just kind of got to brainstorming, and IKIFOO's running away. I can't blame him. But we decided that we might sort of try and think of what the best game in a series might be, and eventually we decided on King's Quest. And a couple of ground rules: we are only focusing on the 8 classic games, 1 through 8. We can
I
talk.
wasn't allowed to use the reboot.
Yeah, you can talk about the reboot or any fan games if you want, but we're not considering them
Okay,
for.
Lee, I'm sorry.
It's not bad. I just have a couple of character quirks about
Anyway.
the reboot.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that to get a rise out of you, that's all.
Yeah.
Chad Lily's already offering some suggestions, but who wants to start? Go, Pete.
King's Quest 4.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Pete's going for 4.
King's Quest 4 is my favorite one. I think that it is cool because it's got fairies and a unicorn.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, if
okay.
it has the national animal of Scotland, I have to go with that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here making detailed notes on
Right, this-
things, and she just she
Okay,
just gives a
listen.
5-second presentation.
It's for the Perils of Rosella, or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
am I? Okay, I have played that one. That's a good
I
one.
really okay.
She does climb a tongue, but not
There,
No,
not
she
not
does
you
enough.
climb
know,
a tongue.
there are some, King's
A whale's
Quest
tongue.
cruelties in King's Quest 4.
Mhm.
There's King's Quest
Uh,
cruelties in every King's Quest game.
But
Let's
there's
just,
King's
let's just
Quest
go with
cruelties
it.
in every King's Quest game. So
Is that why the
know,
latest one's banned? It doesn't have those?
No.
won't
It's
say
not bad, but
It's banned.
it's bad.
Man, damn it!
But
Dagnabbit.
you know, I always really enjoyed King's Quest 4, like with the whole day and night
If you
cycle.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
really cool
beautiful.
things about it.
Oh yeah.
It's
I mean, like, what's it called? It has that expectation twist around of like, like there's Edgar, and then does Edgar get degreened in that? I can't remember. Either way,
Yeah.
but there's Edgar, and then the whole oh,
Yes.
I'm actually this sexy guy instead.
he's a
and she's just
beautiful
like,
prince at the end.
"Eh,
And
you
she's
know what?
like, I'm alright, I'm good. I'm good.
I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I'm 18.
I got-
My
Gotta
brother's
say, my
into me.
shitty dad.
Yeah,
My
well,
sh- yeah, I've got
I was gonna
to say,
say,
my
is it,
dad. My
is
brother
it-
is into me.
is it for the
Um,
one? Yeah.
But he does have a cute birthmark.
Oh yeah, cute birthmark on his ass that he just showed her like within seconds of meeting her.
Well, I was planning to do this anyway, but you asked.
He thinks about how sexy her body is, and he shows her his butt within the first 5 minutes of meeting her, meeting his sister.
In the animal kingdom, we call that presenting.
How dare you?
Yeah.
It's kind of like those birds that do the dance thing.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Oh,
now we need to play King's Quest 3 with you doing that voice, man.
Hello.
Wow, I'm good.
I'll feed you a cookie. And a cookie or a cat.
All right. Who wants to go next?
King's Quest 7.
Alrighty.
Which is the one I have most memories with.
I love King's Quest 7.
Yeah,
Hi.
see, this is why Pete and I are
I went with 4 so that
twins.
you could have King's Quest 7.
Okay, so I actually hate the Rosella sections of King's Quest 7 now, but it is the most quotable game of all time of the King's Quest series. Like, there's some things you can quote in King's Quest 6, but this game is like full of one-liners. Like, there's literally a bird in I can't remember the town, but there's this mockingbird, and he's just full of quotes.
I love
Falderall.
That's one of the reasons I love King's Quest 7. I think it's great. It's full of worlds that are so interesting compared to the rest of King's Quest.
Yeah, they're all like little pockets, and like it's kind of that Torrens Passage, like kind of like
it's Torrens Passage but better.
Yeah, it's Torrens Passage with like only a couple of levels, and some of those levels split across to the side. And I think it's all the best for that. And I like the whole idea that you kind of go through these areas as both Valanice and Rosella and kind of get different things out of them. Like, oh god, yeah, like they're technically in Folderol at the same time, but Valanice might be in jail for a reason. But
they just miss each other.
But this is where okay, so this is the thing I hate about King's Quest 7 is that they fucked over Rosella. She went from being like really cool and all that in King's Quest 4 to like, oh, fuck all responsibility.
That's the worst part about 7.
Yeah, like what's it called? Like you feel for her in the intro, where she's like, I don't really want to get married. Everyone's talking about me getting, hitched to anyone.
Even my brother.
She jumps into a lake, gets to get the fuck away from this conversation with her mother, gets kidnapped, gets turned into a troll, gets de-trolled, and then she's just like, oh, you want me to go find the real troll killer? I guess so. I guess that would be fun. And then then she does. Like, she finds out Valanice is there, and she's just like, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and it's just like, what the fuck?
My mom cries every time she thinks of me, but who gives a shit?
She's got magical tears, though. People make fun of Valanice for that whole thing that she just cries her way through things, but she solves every single one of those puzzles that she uses those tears on. Those are magic fucking tears.
I love Valanice. I think that she was done a little dirty.
Oh yeah, but
like what's series.
She's the most on target of all those protagonists. Like, if you look at like
she's got an idea of what she needs to do. She
goes out and does it. She will go and do a couple of other things, but she'll still be like, look, I will do this because I think it will help me also find my daughter, but I need to find that daughter. But like, you look at like Graham in King's Quest 5, where he's like supposed to be like searching for them all, and he's like, oh, I just wanted to comment on the fine artistry of this marionette. And it's just like,
you do the voice so good.
Oh, Cedric, I don't want anyone to know I'm a king.
What do you call his Graham goes the antiquing?
Yeah, it's Graham on the Grand Antique to it.
Anything. This is like, I love this marionette. I'd like to have it.
He's like, oh, I found your golden spinning wheel. Can I have the marionette? It's like, you don't know what you need it
for. Sled.
Yeah, he doesn't know he needs the sled because he goes and goes, I've got
of this shit. He doesn't know he needs the custard pie. He doesn't know he needs the cloak. He doesn't know he needs the sled. He just is buying shit.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, let's just do this. He's like, I found a gold needle. I guess I'll go to the tailor. What can I get for this? Oh, I guess this cloak. It's like, what can I get for this fine marionette?
Let me talk to my buddy who's an expert in golden needles.
Yeah. Although that whole thing with the golden needle thing, that guy lost that needle outside the inn, where there's just a whole heap of ruffians, and all I can think of is
it's like a gay thing, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not.
it's definitely.
I don't know. I
But
don't
in
know.
the haystack,
But that's the
you
first
want to
thing
run
I
around the
thought.
haystack with those guys?
Yeah.
Dan Nestic says, it is a fair point, but aren't all fairy tales illogical?
No, 'cause
No!
they're all
A lot of
moralistic.
times fairy tales, for the most part, have a very the main character is working towards a very clear goal. Like think about the Snow Queen. Like the girl
Yeah.
has a very clear, defined goal, and she goes
Fine
through a lot
boy.
of shit to get to that goal.
Fine boy.
But she
Fine boy,
always
Chad?
is trying.
Yeah.
To, no matter what she's doing, get
His name's
boy.
Kay, but yeah. He's like, get boy. Do some other
Boy.
stuff while finding boy. But you know, it's still like, it's kind of like,
And the boy's
there's
trying to solve puzzles and shit. That would
Well,
be
yeah,
a
but-
good
Too
adventure game.
complex
Oh
instruction.
god, yeah, but like, what's it called? He's infected as well. Because
Yeah,
he's got like the shard of ice inside of him.
and in his eye and in his heart.
Yeah. Too much glass in eyes.
But then he's trying to put the words together. It's like a word puzzle on the floor. Like it's a total adventure game. The Snow Queen is.
Yeah.
Because you,
But, like, what's
you
it
go
called?
to different worlds.
Like the probably the most illogical one I can think of when it comes to fairy tales is probably like Tatterhood, where it's but like even then it's kind of like, well, it's just desserts for the mother. So basically Tatterhood is that like there's this queen that she wants to have a child. She meets a fairy. Fairy says, hey, drink this potion, take a bath, put your
Get out,
bath
Dave.
water underneath the bed. Yeah. So, you know, have a bath, put the bath water underneath underneath your bed, have sex, and then in the morning there's going to be these two flowers that pop up. Now there's going to be an ugly flower and a pretty flower. Only pretty flower. The queen wakes up and she goes and does all that things. But after eating the pretty flower, she's like, "Oh, it's so tasty." She eats the ugly flower as well. So she then ends up having.
That's where it gets you.
Yeah.
You eat the
So
ugly flower.
She ends up having two
We've
children.
all been there, right?
Yeah, she ends up having two children. One that's really pretty and very cute and all that, and one that is like this ugly gray baby that talks from birth. And within 3 days has managed to co-opt a goat that it's running around on, and also has like a large wooden spoon that it's wielding against
Now,
things.
see, if you were to ask me, I would pick that baby. I would rather have the ugly baby
Well, the
that
ugly
Seems
baby,
intelligent.
doing
Yeah.
shit.
ugly baby is the protagonist of the story, so yes, definitely go with that one.
Yeah.
But basically, like, so apparently there's these witches that show up every winter, and when they're about like 14 or something, the Tatterhood and her sister, I think it's Barina, it's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, there's witches, and the queen's like, yeah, they come, just ignore them. We lock up this room, and like Tatterhood and her stick and her goat are like, let's go in there and tell them to get the fuck out. So she goes and scares all the witches. But the beautiful sister pops in at the end going like, oh, what's going on? And the last witch just plucks off the sister's head and replaces it with the cow's.
That's what you do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Still
Which
plain
is still,
spoonful of
I'm sorry.
mid-logic.
This is sounding
Yeah,
like
I-
American Horror Story.
I think
This is just a day-to-day thing. I don't understand why
I-
you guys are
I
acting
think-
like it's weird.
I think we've moved on ever so slightly from King's Quest. So
Well, basically, it's just kind of like, moon logic
tales.
It is relevant.
and fairy
It is
tales.
relevant.
There's still the main goal going through, unless you're King Graham, and then you're just like, oh, let's do it fucking anything else for as long as we can.
all right.
I see
So-
this forest with a big sign out front that says "Stay
That
out,"
says-
but I'm gonna go in it anyway because why
Yeah.
not?
So we've had
You
points in
stay out
favor
here,
of King's
Cedric.
Quest
I need
4.
some alone time.
We've had points in favor of
I
King's
did
Quest
a-
4, in favor of 7. Dave, what you got?
Well, honestly, 7 is the one I have most memories with, and 4 is probably the only other one I've played, so I can't really add that much.
Well, don't forget you did both help ruin King's Quest 6.
Oh,
True.
yeah! You know what? I really enjoyed 6. I
Mm.
really enjoyed 6.
You know, I
mean-
still have a special place
But-
in my heart for all of
Yeah,
these games,
yeah.
even with the bad ones.
I still love 6, although what's it called?
6 is good.
I get
I'm not saying
6 is good. No, 6 is great. It's just that
It is the first game that I remember playing ever.
Oh, lovely. It was the first game that my brother and I started playing together that my dad decided to return, get returned to Zoc instead. It was just like, hey, we were playing that. I didn't like it. He didn't like it. We got 7th Guest. We finished it as a family in one night. He returns it. He gets King's Quest 6. He sees me and my brother playing it, and he's like, I don't really like this. So he goes and gets Return to Zork instead. Which I loved. So I'm fine with that. But I did eventually end up getting it like a couple of years afterwards. But still, like, what's it called? As time goes on with King's Quest 6, I have more and more problems with what Alexander is doing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
just his whole approach.
Yeah, just the whole thing for this girl that he barely knows and has a boner for,
barely
basically.
knows her. Doesn't really even give her a proper heads up that, what he's doing.
So, my opinion on that is that, like, by the time that he and his family are kidnapped in King's Quest V, Alexander's been with them for what, like 6 months?
Something
like
god,
that.
okay. The timeline of King's Quest is just bonkers.
Like,
Okay, so King's
for all,
Quest
for all
3
we know, Cosima could be happily marrying the Vizier. I think.
Yeah, well,
that's true. But
my
I mean,
point
like, in terms of like, okay, so between King's Quest 3, yes, the beginning of King's Quest 3 and the end of King's Quest 5 is 3 days.
3 days?
3 days.
So, what? Okay.
And then King's Quest 6 happens 6 months later.
So here's the thing, is that Alexander doesn't know these people. He doesn't know anybody.
Yes.
Everybody he's known in his life is either an evil wizard or people that he's met for 3 days. 3 days! So he meets this other girl who's not related to him. The first girl he's ever really met that's not related to him. Really, like, talked to. And she's also been kidnapped by an evil wizard and kept in servitude by an evil wizard. She's the only person who has any connection with him at all.
That's a fair point.
That part I'm fine with.
One moment, real
that
quick.
part I'm fine with.
Dave, what do you think the Vizier would have to say about this?
I think you're not a factor.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. They definitely have something in common, but like, like the fact, like, because in King's Quest 6, there's like 2 different musical things, and Alexander's like, oh, good thing that mother made me like learn this and learn this. It's like, you've been with them 6 months. Like, would she just like be like, now you need to learn how to play the xylophone, and you need to learn how to play the flute, and you need to learn how to do this. Have you played the harp before? But Alexander, if you really, so that I understand, like, in the beginning of King's Quest 6 when she says, but Alexander, if you really go, this woman has only finally got her child back after 6 months.
And also,
and he wants to leave.
How long was Rosella kidnapped by the dragon?
Oh God! So that's on the list.
Kidnapped.
Yeah, that's on the list of Graham is the worst fucking dad ever, because she was part of the lottery.
That'll be a topic for next time.
They were basically feeding. They were like, they were basically feeding the dragon maidens, and at some point Rosella came up in the lottery, and they went, off you go. And they didn't even go and stand and watch. They were just chilling in the castle, like.
He's the worst king. His son gets kidnapped by an evil wizard. There's a dragon terrorizing his.
So going back to the reboot, this is the one thing that kind of it doesn't even really work because it's part of the fucking over Rosella in the reboot. So basically, after Alexander is kidnapped as a child in the reboot, Graham goes into a depressive funk for the entire thing. So like
18 years, Graham.
I know, but like
we've all got depression, buddy.
Yeah, but there's like what's it called? There's like
get taken by dragons.
Yeah, but the thing is that he's got Rosella, and there's Rosella. Like they.
Yeah.
Hey Dad, like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Do you want to go and do that? Like, why don't we go do this? And like, so like, they, like they would really get along, and he's just ignoring her, and like, oh God, can I talk more about the reboot?
Like I said, you
So
can talk
it's
about it all.
the best King's Quest games.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
it's-
talk
yeah,
about it all you
I
want.
like
We're just
it.
not considering it for the best.
This game.
No.
Oh, good, because that's not what I want to talk about it with. So, like, what's it called? So, after, so the whole thing of the reboot is that it's kind of like a retelling of certain parts of King's Quest, including some new sections that we didn't know about, while Graham is passing away, basically. And he's trying to decide which of his 2 grandchildren are going to be the next king. Either, what's it called? Alexander and Casima's daughter, Gwendolyn, or... Oh shit! Or Rosella and Edgar's son Gart, which is short for Gartholomew. I mean, like originally, I was like, I don't see Alexander and Casima naming them Gwendolyn, and then like and then when I realized what Gart was short for, I was like, what the fuck is with these
Gart.
names?
Yeah, that's a name. That's a hell of a name.
Oh, shit. Anyway, but yeah, so it seems that at some point, like, because what's it called? I think Valanice says it to Gwendolyn really close to the end. And he's like, "Oh, you'll have to forgive your cousin Gart because."
Ate my shorts.
He's just basically Bart Simpson. He's just like Bart.
But, like, you'll have to forgive him. Rosella's been training him to be king since she realized she wasn't going to be queen. And I was like, what the fuck, Graham? She wants to be. She's in position to be the next ruler, and she's always wanted to please you, and you're gonna jump over her.
Dare I ask why Alexander is not in the running?
Oh, Alexander's king of Green Isles.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's still canon in the reboot.
Yeah, like
Okay.
everything
Green Isles.
apparently is the same.
Yeah,
like
it's-
canon.
Yeah,
But
everything that's canon in the original is
it's
the same. They
basically-
recontextualialize.
It's basically
Some things.
Graham like lying about his
Oh
memories.
god. Oh god, so much lying.
It's basically Graham like trying to make himself look better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like he talks about like, and like Alexander just showed up, and it's like, no, bitch, your daughter was attached to a pillow, about to be eaten by a dragon. Oh god. I mean,
So-
so it's just kind of like shitty King Graham.
Dad.
Since IKIFOO is kind of abstaining from the discussion since he's a relative newbie or virgin.
I will.
Me too.
Inexperienced,
Quest.
yeah. I've said enough.
Yeah.
We should do like a playthrough of like the whole series.
I would like to make points in favor of King's Quest VIII. Now, I reviewed.
Hey, I love people standing up for games that
Yeah, I reviewed it a little while back, and
culturally are not.
I will
Come
happily
back.
agree.
Come back.
I'll
I-
have to. There's things blocking me.
I will happily
Yeah.
agree it is not the best game. I will also happily agree it is not the best King's Quest game. Or a good King's Quest game in general. It's more just a good game set in the King's Quest universe. But
Okay, I'm agreeing with that. That's
okay,
fine. That's
yes,
fine. That's fine.
that we can agree with. And I had to rewatch my review just to come up with some things to say in favor of. But first off, I would like to defend Connor. He is a good protagonist, I feel. He's a little one note in terms of character development within the game. He started out.
Character development in that game?
That's what I mean. He started out as
Yeah.
a noble hero, and he ended up as a noble hero. There weren't really any times when
Technically, wasn't he a peasant to begin with? But yeah.
but you know what I
He's
mean.
just a dude, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There weren't really any
Heroic dude.
times when his
stayed
resolve
heroic
was
dude.
tested or anything like that. But we did get good emotional range from him, and I liked him, and I don't feel like he deserved to be ignored like he did in the reboot. I saw somewhere that they were planning on putting one or two things from Mask of Eternity into the reboot series, and Connor may have made a cameo, but he fell by the wayside, and I don't think he deserved that fate. He's
They
He-
do
he's a good
mention him
addition.
Briefly.
yeah.
They do mention him briefly during the end section, but other than that, he's not in it at all.
And the story is a little bit on the basic side, but it does keep you interested, I think. It keeps you wanting to progress through the game to see what happens. I liked the story, I liked Connor, but the main point I would like to bring up in favor of Mask of Eternity is, and this is probably a little unorthodox, but it's potential. Talking about the reboot and whatnot, I feel like if the stars were aligned and the planets were aligned just so, and for some reason they made another King's Quest episodic series, I think Mask of Eternity would be perfect to adapt into that format, because each of the areas that you visit in the game is sort of like its own little mini adventure, and I feel like they could all they've all got the potential to be expanded upon, and it would make it so much better.
I haven't played 8 since it first came out, and I really need to go back to it because I remember being really disappointed, but
the combat is repetitive.
Thinking about it now,
and boring, I will grant you that. And once you've killed all the enemies in the area and start backtracking back and forth, which you will do, it can get a little tedious. But it is not a bad game by any means. It deserves some consideration.
I'd have to play it again.
Yeah, all my problems with it are specifically that it's only a game set in the King's Quest series, and yet it's getting the King's Quest name.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a problem.
The thing about King's Quest is that it was Sierra's flagship, so it was always the one that they do the new stuff with. Like, that was the whole rule with King's Quest, right? Like, everything new that they came up with goes to King's Quest first, and then can be used in anything else later. That was their whole thing.
That was Roberta's baby.
But I would have liked it. Yeah, I kind of would have liked it if it had been like that. Like, so Gabriel Knight 3 is a 3D game, and has a 3D adventure engine.
Right.
I would have liked if they'd used something like that, rather than be like, let's go straight to action.
I do wish that it had more adventure elements. That was the thing that I was most disappointed by, was like, oh yay, another King's Quest game, but it's this action game, and it doesn't really feel like a King's Quest game. But now, I don't really care about King's Quest. So it's like, okay, yeah, let's do something new. Let's do something new with the series. Sure. I think I dig that. It's kind of a brave thing to do, something so totally different with your flagship series. So I'm kind of into it. I like the idea of, like, yeah, it's an action game now. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Who cares? Let's do it.
I actually just really like the engine that was in Gabriel Knight 3. That shame that they decided not to do anything more with that engine. Because, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit weird, but it's fun.
I mean, it's
that's the main point I'll make.
It's a little janky, but it's fun.
It has its potential.
I think that I never finished Gabriel Knight 3 because I think I broke it. I can't remember how, but
it doesn't take much.
I think I broke it and I couldn't play it. Like, I actually literally would have had to restart. And so I was like, I didn't like it that much anyway, so I'm not gonna go start it over again.
Well,
I'll give it another chance.
Let me tell you about the first time I played Gabriel Knight 3, because I begged my parents for it for Christmas that year when it came out.
Right.
Our computer wasn't up to scratch. It would take half an hour to load every single scene. I finished it twice.
That's the dedication.
That's dedication right there.
I mean, I look at games that I finished when I was a kid, and I'm like, how did I do that? I don't know. I played through every King's Field game that was released here in the U.S. as a kid, and I tried going back to that series because I love that series. I love King's Field a lot.
Right.
But I tried going back, and I was like, how the did I do this? I feel like so bad at it now. How did I do this? How did I finish this game? How did I finish any of these games? It's amazing what kids can do when they got tenacity. They got gumption.
They got time.
They have time.
Time.
We all had time when we were children as well. Like, all right, I'm gonna spend a whole day trying to work out this game. Whereas I'm like, I've been doing this for 10, 15 minutes now. I need the walkthrough.
So
And
just
if we'd
glancing
had
at the
access
chat.
to the internet walkthrough before all of that, I would have used it.
Just glancing at the chat real quick. Dan Nastic sending me a heart for talking about King's Quest VIII. Awesome. Wilka Webb says, I would love more Here's Our Worlds. Let's follow somebody else for adventure games.
Yeah, I think those work.
And suggests Tales from Daventry. I like it.
Yeah,
There's,
I think that
there's,
actually would be really
there you go.
cool.
There's the next project for Telltale. Get in touch with
Yeah.
Sierra, people. Come on, make it happen.
You know,
what's it
the
called?
thing is,
Yeah.
the thing about King's Quest is you don't really see a whole lot of Daventry. I don't
Oh
know
my god,
anything about
Daventry. Daventry doesn't even have a town in it. Daventry is just a couple people living near
Yeah.
a castle.
According to the games,
Especially in
yeah,
Mask of
just
Eternity,
an
it's like
asshole
in-
wizard and an asshole witch, and like
Yeah.
there's not much. So I would love a King's Quest game that showed you like the people who live in Daventry, like.
In Mask of
like-
Eternity, Daventry is
I
like
don't- I don't
two
know.
houses and a pub.
King's Quest Online.
What?
King's Quest Online.
King's
King's
Quest Online,
Quest Online!
except it looks like the realm.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say we probably look like what's it called? Ultima Online,
Oh,
like Ultima
yeah.
I
Online,
remember
but
that.
King's Quest.
Or like
Yeah.
isometric.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
so good. Oh yeah.
Daventry, Kingdom of Asshole Magicians.
Pretty much.
And
Nice.
Deadly
And asshole
Rocks.
kings.
Yeah. All right. So who's got any final points?
I love King's Quest.
It,
I
it
love
is-
King's Quest,
It is a good
and
series.
I kind of hate King's Quest.
Yes. Thank you, Pete. That is exactly the point I was trying to make.
I am
I
also here.
Such a special place in my heart,
Same.
you know. I grew up playing those games, and so I'm always very fond of them, even though
Well, now I
I
wanna play
acknowledge
them
how
more.
bad they are. Like I replayed King's Quest V just recently,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you know,
beautiful
I still like
backgrounds,
that
beautiful
game.
backgrounds.
I still like that
Yeah.
game. It's
Yeah.
terrible, but I love it.
I think that my suggestion, although I don't know if we'll do this, I've just literally thought of this in my head, but maybe instead of keep doing FMV Club every single time, maybe match it up between FMV Club, then either a King's Quest game or some other game that some of us have played that some of us haven't. So we get to
I
bring
know
the
That'd be
King's
cool.
experience
Quest
together.
4
I'd be
by,
so down for that.
by heart. I
Yeah.
can play King's Quest 4 in like an hour.
And that way I also don't have to keep going like, oh god, I don't know what people are going to think of this. Oh my god, I can't wait for everyone to do
You don't
FMV
have to
Club
suffer
this
for
week.
your art.
Yes. Sometimes I suffer. Sometimes I get real excited. I'm getting real excited about what we're going to record next for FMV Club.
Sometimes it's French.
Yeah.
All right.
Very French.
Very
Sometimes,
French.
sometimes it's very French.
Speaking of FMV Club, who's got stuff to plug? Either for YAR
Well,
or
FMV Club will be back next week.
yeah, either for YAR or your own channels.
I got nothing at the moment for my channel because I got to do a work trip interstate. But I will be hanging out with this man.
Yeah, you will.
So
Nope, it's that way.
yeah.
It's this
This
way
way.
on my
It's this way, it's
camera,
this way.
but that
Yeah,
way.
like-
I screen shared
Yeah, yeah.
Streamlabs OBS for this exact reason. Get your points right.
It's backwards for me,
Just
though.
this reason.
backwards for us. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I've got
I
it
mean,
easy. All I
no,
have to do is
like-
do this.
My camera's. It's weird how it like
Ooh.
in Discord it's backwards for me,
Imagine
right
a
ways.
Daventry real-time strategy.
for you guys.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
Ooh.
Who
World
would be
of
fighting?
Daventry Craft. No, like not
King's
Daventry
Craft.
And then King's Craft.
Nice.
World
Nice.
of Daventry Craft.
Craft
And
for the
then-
crown. Actually, I'm making a Davin hat at the moment. a
Craft of
Davin crown
Eternity.
hat.
Okay, thank you.
But for another reason. So that will be shown at some point. But I'm making a bicocket hat.
Okay, we were doing
That's what
plugs.
they
Who's
call
got other stuff to plug?
Well,
Dave.
I'm streaming Monkey Island 2 next, and it's possibly this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon.
Nice.
But yes. I'm still doing Lost Crown, but that's been shelved for a bit because I've just been really busy. But we're gonna finish that too.
Gordon.
I
I'm
have a
gonna
new
review
GeoCities
some
site.
fucking thing or another.
Well, you've got to
We'll
build
find
your
out.
new PC first. Build
Ah,
new
mate.
PC, then look at it.
He's also got a
Okay.
new review for Gibbous.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Oh yes.
Okay, boss.
Yes.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah.
And
I'm also bleeding. I forgot about
I'm
that.
here.
I
Oh
poked it.
yeah.
Pete's got skeletons. I don't know what else she's got to plug.
What's the
He's
skeleton got to
very
plug?
scared. I've got a new talk show. Don't talk with me.
Yeah,
I'd watch it.
I
I'm a
would too.
skeleton. Yeah.
you're lying. I can see right through you.
I've got 3 low-budget gaming reviews now on my channel.
I make no bones
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, you do.
And
And one of them has made me install Starfleet Academy, so I don't know whether or not to thank you for that.
It's
yeah,
a weird
Oh,
reaction to Kingpin, but you know. whatever.
yeah. I've got a review out for Kingpin, Sherlock Holmes, the case, secret journey, incident, whatever else you want to
The
call it.
earring
Of
that
the
was sort
silver
of
earring.
weird.
Yeah. And Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. Go watch them all, please. Yeah, like Pickle Dog says,
It's
they're
good.
great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know who's gonna watch that.
Yeah, and I know one thing. Brett doesn't know who either.
Nah. You said the thing.
I had too much
And if
fun
you
with
watch his
that name.
review, you'll understand what the fuck we're
Yeah, if you
talking
don't
about.
understand-
We ain't explaining it.
Yeah.
Go watch.
Head over
Go
there
watch.
right now and
Well, in
Catch
5
up on
minutes.
All will be clear. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Again, apologies for the late start. Hopefully, we will have our technical issues under control, and I will figure out where my camera is. Oh, there it is. Hi. I still won't record
Snickless.
that.
It's Nicholas.
it's necklace.
And
Nicholas.
I should probably mention this since I haven't been playing the end credits since we started live streaming the show. But if you guys have any suggestions for a main topic for us to discuss, or any game ideas or anything like that, do by all means get in touch with us either on the YAR Discord or on one of our social medias. Yeah, thank you so much again for watching.
Socials, people.
Thank you guys for joining us. Yes, they
you
are
for
pointing
having
to
us.
their various Twitter tags. And we will see you guys next
No,
time.
Gordon's just doing the friends dance.
Bye bye. I don't know.
Bye.
Bye.